Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Master Wing. You know what we're doing today. No big intro, just gonna get right into it. You'll notice this is a 3-player game. I normally don't upload 3-player games. Just because of the screen time it takes, you're adding 10-15 minutes to the game. Try to keep these videos with the editing around 20-30 minutes. But we're going to see how this one goes. This is a tournament game. We have the Yellowthroat, Goldcrest. Easy to play, but there's only one worm in the bird feeder. We are going second. The bullfinch is in the tray. And there's one fish in the bird feeder. I think I might keep Anhinga as well, just for 2 wetland birds. And the good thing about the Goldcrest is you don't need extra eggs, you don't need extra food like the short-toed tree creeper or the moorhen. You can just discard your extra cards. With the Yellowthroat and Goldcrest, they pair very well, hoping that works out. And the first end of round goal is cards in hand. We'll go platform builder with the Anhinga. This is a tournament game. We enter a lot of tournaments and we just don't have the time or the resources, I guess, to record and upload every single game. But if anything interesting happens, we will be sure to upload this. If not, you won't see any of this. Started with 100 something, maybe like 112, 115 players, I'm not sure. And we made it to the top 10, so I am really enjoying 3-player. But I've said many times before, I normally play 90-95% of my games 1v1. Some people might not have kept that Anhinga, but it is 6 points and it goes with my bonus card. And it gets me to that 3rd slot in the wetlands where I can draw 2 cards, and with the Yellowthroat I'll see 4. Once Oceania arrives, you only need 1 bird in your wetlands, and in the next spot on your player board you can draw 2 cards. So that second wetland bird in round 1, I estimate, will not be as important as it is in this base game player board. Alright, looks like everybody's selected. We're playing Devim and Flan. Both very good players. Obviously they've made it this far, so I'm hoping this is a good game. And he starts off with a very strong chipping sparrow. The bullfinch I wasn't going to take, but my opponent, the waxwing opponent, has a berry and a seed. And so I'm wondering if this bullfinch grab messes him up. Probably not, since the nuthatch just replaced it and he grabbed the nuthatch. So maybe a wasted turn there, we'll see. But we may use the bullfinch with the Goldcrest, so I'm not disappointed about it. Alright, so they did take the worm. We're going to take the fish while it's available. I was hoping to grab a worm as well. But now the tray isn't as, sometimes that tray, it needs to be protected. Like, you want to be making sure your opponent isn't grabbing some really great power birds in round 1. But as it is now, we're going to leave it how it is. So they both got birds down, and they've got a chipping sparrow, and the other one played the yellow-rumped warbler, which lets you tuck and draw. I assume he played it in the forest. And I'd normally play the Yellowthroat first, but we're going to play the Anhinga first this time. in case I need to save this worm for the Goldcrest instead of the yellowthroat. We just uploaded a Wingspan quiz about a week ago, and from the feedback I'm getting, it was harder than I originally thought. Medium to hard difficulty, I would say. But if you haven't checked out the Wingspan quiz of the base game, I will leave it in the description. It's kind of fun, kind of different. Alright, so he played the Nuthatch. As expected, that's a pretty strong forest start. And player one, I think that's Devim, continues to draw cards. And our wetlands is taking shape. Since our goal is cards in hand, I think it's time to do a couple turns of card draw, unless that worm in the bird feeder is still there. Nope. Alright, see if we get anything good. Yellow-bellied sapsucker and buzzard. Not amazing, but anything that can go in the forest will be good with this Goldcrest. Spoonbill. We'll get rid of the buzzard. I took the bobwhite. Eventually we're gonna have to lay some eggs. Goes with the third end of round. And if I have plenty of food, you know, it may come in handy. Maybe not. At the time of this recording, the new platform has been released. Honestly, like many of you have said, Monster Couch did exactly what they said they were going to do. Some of the back-end software things, I'm not a developer or programmer. Maybe it's firmware, software, I'm not sure. But for some reason, I thought there'd be maybe some new features or maybe some visuals that were different in this new platform. But it's not. I hope it runs smoothly. Maybe they'll add some more features later down the road. I've only had a couple crashes, I think, which is pretty good, I think, considering the amount of people playing and how popular this app is. So now there's a worm in the bird feeder. We've already got the worm though. And let's see, we've got enough cards to win this end of round. He's done. He played the Great Egret solo. Must be having some bad luck there, because normally you play the Great Egret with a double play. And we got 3 birds down. It was a little slow, but we've got ammunition for this Goldcrest. Really like a wood duck or something else, but we'll roll with it. And they've got still the chipping sparrow, the warbler, and the nuthatch are good. But we were able to take the victory with the card draw thanks to yellowthroat. We get to go first round 2. Check out this pileated woodpecker. That's gonna go great with what I got going on. Question is, do I leave Savi's? And the Cooper's Hawk goes in the forest, and it's a platform nest for my bonus. It's easy to play. I think I'll take Cooper's Woodpecker, and since player 1 doesn't have much of a wetlands, I'm thinking about denying Savi's. And that could go well with his Blackbird as well. I don't really need Savi's. We took it anyway. It's just a powerful card just because even though it gives everybody cards, you're drawing 2 cards with 1 activation. So since we picked up the Pelleted Woodpecker, which one do I want to discard here? We'll keep the Bullfinch just in case, but I'll probably be playing Cavity Nest Birds now, so. Prothonotary Warbler in the tray. I'm not sure if that's worth picking up at this time. And the Golden Eye, interesting. So Prothonotary Warbler did get taken, and the Mute Swan pops up. Man, I really want to start playing my birds here, but Mute Swan with Blackbird, and considering the goals, I need to deny the Mute Swan. It's too strong a card, and you're tucking 3 cards. It's almost an instant Wetlands bird. I mean, of course it's a Wetlands bird, but it's almost an instant engine. And we pick up Trumpeter and Spotted Owl. This is going to be great. Excuse me. The plan is to continue with this miniature Air Sando we got going on and play a bunch of bonus card birds and high point birds. So now that the tray isn't as dangerous, we are going to accelerate this forest. Watch how we accelerate this forest with this Goldcrest. Barn Swallow in the tray, that's going to get taken up. Ooh, Chickadee would be good too, but I gotta get going. Do we take Chickadee? I don't think so. I think we need to get started. And now that we have some egg power with the Pelleted Woodpecker, we're done with the Bob White. I wish the bird feeder would have been better, or would have had a worm, because then I would have probably played Pelleted Woodpecker right there, because now we have to lay eggs. But that's okay. It's not a deal breaker. Ooh, Canada Goose in the Wetlands. I like it. And Barn Swallow in the Grassland. Pretty neck and neck here, I would think. Player 3. I think that's Flan. He's got some tucks and cashes already. I'm not feeling good about that one. The good news is with this setup, we've got a lot of good birds to play. We've got forest birds, we've got some platform nests. We have the roseate spoonbill. We've got the great horned owl, trumpeter swan, spotted owl, and the goals aren't super egg heavy. So I still like our game plan here. There's that worm. Oh. Could have used the bronzed cowbird. That's unfortunate. That's alright. Alright, I need the pleated woodpecker to come through. We will be handing out some eggs to everybody else, but that's okay. Next play, I'm thinking we go spotted owl. There's 2 rats in the bird feeder. Man, they've already got quite a few tucks and caches. There's that sapsucker we could play that also has a cavity nest, but the food for it is not available in the bird feeder. Tell me what y'all think about this Goldcrest. Some people avoid it. Of course, it's situational, but when you have good card draw, like we do, and you have extra disposable cards, I like it. And before you know it, you have 5 birds in your forest, and you can start laying down bombs. There's a black-tailed godwit in the tray. And normally I wouldn't care that much, but I need some extra disposable cards for this Goldcrest. And it is a bonus card bird in case I do need to play it for round 3. California Condor coming in clutch. We're gonna leave the godwit and play this spotted owl. And probably get rid of the sapsucker. What do you think about this? Yeah. Because I want to play Great Horned Owl for my 5th forest bird. Let's do it. We gained food, we laid eggs, we played a bird all in the same turn. Enclosure builder or ecologist. We'll take ecologist. We will play some grassland birds eventually. And my next disposable card is probably the mute swan. So if the rats show up in the bird feeder again, I may snag it. Otherwise, I'm going to draw cards next turn. Like I said, the 3-player games are a little bit of a change of pace. Let me know if y'all prefer those. Like I said, I just haven't uploaded much of those because they take longer. It doesn't mean they're less fun. It's just for viewers. I wanted to know what you guys like. Appreciate all the feedback I've been getting, good, bad, or ugly. I like the 3-player change of pace just because the end around goals aren't automatically given to the second player. just a different type of strategy. There's that mountain chickadee that they added to their forest. Ugh. They're small point birds, but they're effective. Over the course of the game, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a bunch of caches. Birds with no eggs, this Goldcrest, this acceleration is allowing us to hopefully win this end of round goal. We put 6 birds on the board and barely taken any lay egg actions. I think I've taken 2 the entire game, maybe, which is nice. Of course, Devim has chipping sparrow, and we're going to be handing out eggs with the woodpecker, so painted bunting, let's go. That's what we need. Nuthatch, probably nothing. And warbler. These are the bombs we needed, and we need some grassland birds to go with our ecologist bonus card, and we'll probably take the godwit. Yeah. Hopefully we don't whiff on these bonus cards. That could be our downfall. That could be the downfall if you're banking on bonus card birds. Oh, cerulean warbler. Oh, but it's the end of the round. However, the good thing for us, the more birds you have on the board, new players, the more likely your bonus cards, are going to qualify and score you extra points. I know that's very obvious to most people, but some people play bonus card birds really early in the game and you only have 2 or 3 birds on the board. But if you play it when you have 8, 9, or even 10 birds on the board, it's very likely you're going to score some bonus points when you play those birds. And the game is kind of flying by. Round 3, the tray is pretty unappealing. I don't foresee anybody really going for those except for maybe the burrowing owl. And of the cards I have, I mean, man, Devim, I don't know. That looks like a tough board. He has that barn swallow. This board right here, with all those tucks and caches already, we need to make up some ground here. Let's see. Hey, 2 rats, we'll take it. I do want to get this great horned owl down. Let me see, what should I play next? Maybe trumpeter swan for the enclosure builder nest. I mean the end around goal. Let me see here. We take the 2 rats and maybe a seed. For the trumpeter. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so that was strictly a gain food turn. Didn't use the Goldcrest, but I'm hoping when we do the reroll, we will get 1 extra rat. Somebody re-rolled it for us. He's got a forest engine. We have a forest. I hesitate to call this an engine because I'm not really scoring many points off of it. But we are boosting this forest habitat. We are accelerating our board. We're playing more birds. And that's the style of this game. Okay, so now we have all the food for Trumpeter Swan and Great Horned Owl, which is perfect. We've got 3 eggs, which is perfect. That spotted owl doesn't let us maximize that pleated woodpecker. We're done with the mute swan. I think we're pretty much done drawing cards. Possibly for the remainder of the game, unless something amazing pops up in the tray. I've got, 15, 20, 28, 34 points, plus bonus cards just sitting in my hand right now. So I don't need any more disposable cards for the Goldcrest. We got a Great Horned Owl down for a 6-point play with the pleated woodpecker, and it's a platform nest. So these next, 9 turns are going to be crucial. But they are going to boost that score quite a bit. Let's see, he's got 2 ground nests over there. He's got a bunch of cards. I wonder if he's struggling with card draw. Oh, we got a house finch in the forest. Another great forest option with his setup. And we will be gaining food at least, 2 or 3 more times for all these expensive birds we've got going on. Feels like, after I play these, 4 or 5 birds, feels like it's going to be a tuck and cash board with a bunch of small point birds versus just a bunch of bird bombs on our player board. We're doing okay. The display tray has not been touched. It all depends on what he draws with that house finch and that warbler. I can pretty confidently say we're in second right now. Devim may have Benelli's eagle or something in his hand. But we had some very good card draws that I need to get down. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play all 5 of these in 8 turns. But we're going to try. Good old Trumpeter Swan for 8 points. And if we need to qualify for the goal, that's the thinking behind the Trumpeter Swan. You know, I could have grabbed different food for the Godwit. Because if I would have played if I could play the Godwit next, I could potentially tie the end of round goal. End of round goals I don't believe are as important in a 3-player game. That doesn't mean they're not gonna contribute. I mean, we won the first two, so it's going to help us to win this game potentially. But I was thinking we grab the fish to do the roseate spoonbill. Yeah. It completes our platform builder, and we get Food Web Expert. Let's go. And that'll go nicely with the Warbler. So that was a 8-point play. I think Spoonbill over Godwit is better, because a lot of times I'll play the Godwit and you strike out anyways. And sometimes you play the Godwit when there's a bird in the tray that you want, because the Godwit lets you pick up 3 cards. And we don't really need any more cards at this point in the game. I'm kind of happy with what I have. White Stork, late game White Stork for 7 points. Now I'm assuming he lays eggs, he White Storks, and tucks with Barn Swallow for the, I guess for the remainder of his game. This board is scary because now he's got the Starling, so he's got a 4-point Forest Engine, and he's going to tuck his extra food, or discard his extra food for tucks. I assume that's his strategy for the remainder of the game. And the remainder of our game is playing these birds that we drew in round 3. I think it was round 3. Might have been late round 2. The cool thing about this tournament is that the format, it allowed for 3 lives, meaning, you know, if you lost or if you didn't get first place, you weren't out immediately. So if we get second in this tournament, I think we're not out. I think we get to play 1 more game. If we get third, we're definitely out. And if we get first, we move on. So like I said, we started with 100 entries, actually more than that, I think. And we've done well with 3 players so far. 4 turns left. How do I play 3 birds with 4 turns left? And they require 8 food. Don't think it's gonna happen. I think this Godwit is gonna go by the wayside. That's fine with me. The Warbler, I gotta play. And the Bunting is better than the Godwit, so... I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to discard the Godwit later. I like our chances here, even though I think it's Will or Flan. They have a lot of caches and tucks, but just from a math standpoint, I mean, for instance, the Trumpeter Swan, if you've got 7 caches on a nuthatch, you know, versus a 9-point Trumpeter Swan, they do somewhat cancel each other out. It's just a different strategy altogether. Let's see, do we gain food now or play what we got? I think I want to play what I have. He plays the Gull, maybe Omnivore Expert there. Let's see. I think I'm ready for this Warbler. Warbler is a 12-point play. And then we gain food next time. 12-point play with Food Web Expert and Ecologist. The Air Sando is done. We're doing well on these end-around goals. In 3-player games, I don't know. I've talked trash about end-around goals sometimes on 3-player games. But if we can win this third one, that's 3 of the 4. That may be a difference maker. If this video makes it to YouTube, we'll see. What do we got? He's got, 7 birds? We've got 10. Goldcrest, yellow throat, busted. Draw cards first. Get your Goldcrest down. Go to work. Ooh, red knot in the tray. It's too late for that. We're gonna gain food while we can and play this bunting. Then that last turn's gonna be pretty inefficient. Probably just have to lay eggs there. Because there's no way I can play both without more food. So it is what it is. Man, player 1 I think had a rough card draw. Player 3, I think he's got a decent score. I like our chances though. Got a very cool forest cache tucking engine going on. We're just very fortunate with this card draw, and we got some bonus card birds. And like I said, the more birds you get down, the better your chances to get bonus points. So we'll see what this bunting gives us, and that'll be a wrap. We did get 4 points for platform builder. Oh, I think he did pick up the red knot, didn't he? He may be playing red knot last. That would have been nice for us earlier in the game with Food Web Expert. The American Woodcock. Still big point birds dropping in the tray. We don't care. 2 turns left. I think we're at least in second, but I think we might be in first with this bonus card right here. Falconer for 6. That's what we like to see. 4 points plus 6. That's a 10-point play, a 12-point play with Ecologist. And this last turn will be a little anticlimactic. Let me see. We could do Great Horned Owl, possible tuck. The Pileated Woodpecker for 1 point. Actually, it's a neutral point since I'd be giving eggs. And Cooper's Hawk for a potential 2 points. So it is best to just lay eggs here for 3. This was a fun game. And the anticlimactic last turn, we got 3 eggs there. That's our best option. The Forest Engine isn't going to score us more points. I like our chances. We had a sick bunting play. The Warbler came in clutch. And Teal powers are going to be settled. He's discarding his extra food for 5 tucks. He did play the red knot like we thought. We will check out everybody else's bonus cards here. If this game makes an upload, I like to see what the other players were working with. Check out those end-around goals. We got the purple quail at the top. Here we go to the scores. And we should be winning on the bird points. 56, not bad. And we should win bonus. 20 points on the bonus. And we should be winning on end of round. 19. Question is, how many tucks and cashes for the other players? We got 109 to 95. Got the dub, team. Thanks for watching. 3-player game. Devim had a tough time. Will had a great game. And our Goldcrest, I'm really a fan. They had Oologist and Omnivore Expert. Really tough game on their part, it looked like. And Wetland Scientist missed out on the Red Nut and Viticulturist. So thanks for watching. Master Wing channel. Let me know what you think about 3-player games. We're staying alive. Peace.